Rise of retail has really been the hallmark of the story. Imagine, FIs, what they've sold, this market is holding on. There was a time when FIs would catch a flu and the market would start sneezing because the Indian market was only a one-trick pony. FIs, FIs, FIs. But now things are changing. But in this market, when last couple of years have been nothing else but like a rising tide phenomenon where everyone has trade money, is it time to exercise caution or bane raho, jame raho? बने रहो, जमे रहो, गाने गाते रहो. जी हाँ, विजय केडिया. That is what he does. बने रहते हैं, stock में जमे रहते हैं, गाने गाते रहते हैं. So you had a busy year, right? I saw a lot of videos of yours. Okay. Even on Instagram now. A lot of videos.
I'm everywhere
viral. You're everywhere now. So what kept you busy last year?
Last year?
Yeah.
Nothing. Writing songs and singing songs. And all these things, जो फालतू का काम है, this kept me busy.
So what is going to keep you busy this summer there?
This summer, same thing, same thing. What has worked for you in the past should work for you in the future also.
But when
That's
does
the mark
stock
of
picking come
an
in this?
investor who is sitting on so
I
much
was just
profit,
gonna
who
say.
doesn't bother.
No, it's not like that. Not profit. There's so many stocks which has not performed at all in last 3 years. So it's not so much of profit, but it's not in my hand. So it's
But you
okay.
have conviction in the stories, right?
Yeah, of course.
Tell our viewers a little bit about those stocks which have not performed at all. But you believe in the story.
Yeah, many stocks like Repro India is one of my biggest holding, did not perform for last 5 years. For 5 years, just imagine, And 5 years before also the price was same 500 rupees. Today also same price. Similarly, like Webber Global, it's one of the big chunk of my portfolio. Also did not perform at all in last 3 years, So that is a separate thing that before 3 years they had money, like Webber had already multiplied 10 times or something like this. But that does not matter. We are still in the race. So I have to compare myself not with my past performance, but the players who are running along with me. This is how you evaluate yourself. So like this, there's a few more stocks. Meaningful holding I am having in Repro and Webber, which did not perform.
So what has performed, right? What has performed is what we want to know from you.
What has performed? I think Atul Auto has done well for you. Indigo has done well for you.
Tejas Network has done little well. It is 100% up in last 1 year. There are so many stocks which are up 200%, 300%. So I'm still lagging behind. So it's okay.
But does it matter lagging behind the others when you are making 100%? Because people are getting a lot of FOMO as well.
I'll tell you, the race has not over yet. Yeah? Okay. So I'm running a marathon. So maybe in 5 kilometers you are faster and you are ahead of me. But till the race is over or till the last player is played, cricket match is not called off, right? So I'm still in the game. So I'm still hopeful. So maybe next year I will cover it up.
A few 4s and 6s on the way, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
We were talking to Ramesh Damani just a while ago about interesting themes for the future, and he said that digital public infrastructure is something that he's looking at. He's also quite surprised with the way pharma has performed, and that's a sector that he will be looking at closely. What about you? Is there any specific space that you believe is, even if it's a niche play, that could do well for the next year?
Has he named some shares also?
You can do that.
We tried very hard.
No. Okay. So no, I don't know about, because these are like when we are talking about pharma and all, it's a vast field, it's a very big field, so many stocks. I am holding only one shares in Newland Laboratory, which has really, by grace of God, had done good for me. So I do not have any focus on this pharma, and digital also I don't understand. I don't know which company should do well, and so I don't have...
No, I'm asking, do you have any interesting sectors that you'll look at closely?
No, interesting sector, like whatever sectors I am holding, I am hopeful that if they have not performed in the past, they should perform in the future. And I personally, I will tell you that I am bullish on Chinese shares. I think that China is the new story. I think China is the new theme. And I think this Chinese stock should do well going forward.
Because of the valuation?
Of course, valuation. For 15 years, they haven't done anything. You just imagine, even Hong Kong index was some 32 or 34,000 in 2008. It's still hovering around 22,000 or 20,000 or something. And in 14 years, and we are, I don't know, 8 times plus or 9 times plus, we don't know. So people have written off China. So I think...
would you allocate 5% of your capital to China? Are you that bullish on China?
Yeah, I will. Of my portfolio?
Total 5%. What about
I can. I have already put to 3% or maybe 2 or 3%.
That's a big call. Allocating 5% of your total portfolio in a foreign market. That means you are taking a sizable bet.
I would like to take sizable, like to invest, but I'm investing in mutual fund. Let me tell you,
Chinese,
ETF.
of course.
Chinese ETF, because
Okay. So
I
you're putting in
cannot-
a basket of assets and
basket
not a
of shares.
specific stock.
Yeah.
So China has two type of ETFs. One which are country ETF, which also have financial stocks in them. One are specific ETFs, which are manufacturing, battery.
Yeah, altogether, mixed,
Altogether.
which is listed at Hong Kong or somewhere, right?
So if you are buying China, you're selling India, you always like to be fully invested. That is what you've done over the years, what I've known you. Which means to invest in China, you must have raised capital somewhere or sold some stocks. So where are you selling?
So I have sold some shares, I have tweaked some shares, I have exited, in this quarter. So that money I have invested in.
What have you sold?
I've sold like Patel Engineering, I had sold, and some I don't remember now. Little bit here and there. Maybe suppose I was maybe 0.10 whatever percentage I had say.
You're still holding on to the original quantity of Indigo, if I may ask you a blunt and a direct question.
Yeah. I'm holding Indigo. Yes.
Even though you've had
Although
complaints with their
now the
services.
stock is in the air pocket. Now the stock price is in the air pocket. Sorry, what did you say?
That's what I'm saying. Even though you've had complaints about their services of late, I've been observing.
Yeah.
So-
but I'm holding this.
So your portfolio is in public domain.
Yeah.
Now, in any portfolio stock, companies do not follow a linear line.
Correct.
Some may go through a mature curve, some may go through a declining curve, both price and in terms of earnings. Which are the 2 or 3 companies which you think right now are in an exciting phase of earnings growth, where next 2 or 3 years will be better than the last 2 or 3 years of your portfolio companies? Where do you think incremental earnings growth would do? I just want to point out for our viewers that the reason why I'm asking earnings and not prices, because price is a function of market, flows, technicals, momentum. Earning is something what we can talk about. Whether price goes up and down, that is a different story. Where are you confident of a earnings recovery or earnings re-rating for next 2 or 3 years, where there is going to be not incremental change but transformational change?
So I'll tell you, Nikunj bhai, I have created one acronym, SHIFT, SHIFT, double T.
स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक हो गई है तो
मेरे जैसा आदमी स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक करेगा भाई. So S stands for SIP, like
स्माइल के बाद शिफ्ट
smile
स्माइल
के बाद-
करो तो स्माइल चेंज हो
Smile
गया.
is a generic term, Shift is related to the sector center.
Okay.
So S like stands for stock market, any theme related to stock market, or SIP, or like whatever, whether it is exchanges or like depository or whatever, because this is the beginning of a equity cult. I have said this on various platforms, that roti, kapda, makan and data and SIP. So SIP is the new trend, and this is going to grow by leaps and bounds. It is just the tip of the iceberg compared to the size of India and the middle class and whatever. So I think that S stands for like stock market, you can call it, or SIP or whatever, and H stands for hospital and hospitality. I saw your interview with Mr. Puneet Chhatwal and tourism minister and all with Aisha. Yeah.
Her interview, I was not there.
I know Nikunj is in your muscle memory, but I
You are in my heart. He's in my mind. Yeah. So,
Who's on your mind? Who's on your mind?
you.
Okay, so what is the acronym of SHIFT? What does S stand for?
So S stands for stock market or SIP, whatever you call it. Yeah. And H stands for like hospital and hospitality industry, and IF stands for infrastructure. Although I have sold one company, but I am holding another company, and I may buy some other company. Currently, I don't have anything in my mind. But without infra, as I always say, that we cannot imagine in India 10 trillion or 30 trillion economy. We are still, again, it's the beginning phase. And double T stands for tourism, and one T stands for telecom.
Telecom. So what will you buy in telecom? Tejas.
I have interest in that, so I will stick to that only. So this is.
Coming back to the point that Avan was saying, there are a lot of investors that we have spoken with today, and they're talking about energy transition being a big theme, real estate, as well as, of course, the overall pharma space, which has been doing well, and renewables, energy transition. Are you not interested in digital and energy transition, because they are supposed to be the theme of the next decade and not just few months and few years?
You see, I do not have any particular stock in my mind in that sector, and like you are talking about. And secondly, I do not invest in any fashionable sector, the trend or the sector which has become very known in the market or become very popular, like data center. Everybody is talking about data center or hydrogen and solar and this and that. I usually don't invest in such stories, because by the time it comes to me, it has become very pricey, you know, and everybody is now have some kind of involvement in these shares and all. So I do not have anything in my mind, nor do I intend to invest in this sector, because I think whatever companies or whatever sector I am holding currently, they should also perform well. Story in those sectors is not over yet. This is what I feel. I may go wrong, but ultimately I am going to do what I believe on, right?
So have you moved beyond Indian hotels and tourism?
No, I don't have Indian hotel, ma'am.
Okay.
Indigo.
I have Mahindra Holidays. I don't have Indian hotel, and of course Indigo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Jayenge kaise hotel?
Mahindra, you have 0.5% equity ownership.
Mahindra, yeah, 1%, above 1%.
You still own it?
Yeah, I'm owning it. Mahindra Holidays, yeah. Shares is not performing well, going slow.
So I just want to go back to that whole point once again, that in last 1 year, we are talking about equities, but India has seen a massive wave of wealth creation. Real estate prices across India, on an average, are up more than 20%. On an average, they are up 50% in the last 3 years. The real estate sector now has a combined market cap of $8 to $9 trillion. Equity market, $5 trillion. Market cap, 80% is owned by Indian promoters and the investors, which is the DI investors. That's about $4 trillion in terms of the wealth ownership. And then there is gold. $2 trillion or $3 trillion, we don't know, but definitely there is a 40% appreciation there. So India has seen a massive wave of wealth effect which the country has never seen before. Gold, real estate, now equity. वो कह रहे हैं ना buffet हो रखा है अभी तो. Buffet table. You can choose. You know, we are having a conversation in my house, and my mom is like, you know how much silver prices have gone up? My wife said, you don't know how much diamond prices have gone down. So, you know, it's
We can see that in Titan.
Yes, you can see that in Titan. But what end of the asset class allocation you would now bet on? Just like you've gone to China, are there any other large changes which you want to do with your wealth distribution? Not just equities. For example, buy gold or buy Bitcoin, or for example, buy real estate. Anything large which you can also share with our viewers as a thought which is non-equity?
No, not in a meaningful way. I may be having around 2% portfolio of my worth in gold, and maybe 1-2% in silver, you know. And real estate, I'm having maybe 5% or 7% of my whatever portfolio I have. So I would like to stick to that only. I'm bullish on gold and silver also, you know. And Bitcoin तो we can't trade, we can't invest. So, but वो दिल जो है वो वाला दिल है, फिर भी दिल हिंदुस्तानी, वो इक्विटी के साथ में ही है. गोल्ड और सिल्वर चाहे वो इक्वल रिटर्न दे, like everybody is talking, in last 20 years gold has given similar return to what Nifty. But what is the fun? You live for some climax. You live until unless you take risk. What is the meaning of living? You need, right? So that kick is there in equity. So I'm not a person that 100%, even if it gives me better return or similar return, I would invest in gold and just sit. Then I will become inactive. Then what would I do? I will not enjoy that money, you know.
So any Shagun ka stock that you may have purchased or sold today?
No, nothing. I'm busy here changing my clothes and doing makeup and preparing that I have to speak in English. So I'm using all those things.
We won't stop you. You can sing in Hindi though.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I want to prove that I can also talk English, I can walk English, because English is a funny language.
So then one Amitabh Bachchan song. Come on.
We've got you here in our studios. You might as well serenade us. Sing one song for us now.
Achha. कोई भी song?
नहीं अमिताभ बच्चन.
Ideally Amitabh Bachchan. Since you borrowed his dialogue, that's why.
Then you have to remind me.
Any silsila song, any kabhi kabhi song.
देखा एक ख्वाब तो ये सिलसिले हुए, दूर तक निगाह में है गुल खिले हुए.
Wow, amazing. Thank you for that. And on that lovely and optimistic note, we'll let you go. Thank you so much,
Thank
Vijay,
you,
for
ma'am.
dropping by in our studios. And let's hope you have a wonderful Samvat ahead.
Thank you.
All right.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.